Hello everyone and welcome back. I invite all of you to get comfortable and let's do some chatting. I am Dr. Chung. I'm a board certified colon and rectal surgeon and I'm your friendly proctologist. Two things I want to get out of the way before we get to our topic today. Many have been asking, where are you located, Dr. Chung? Are you broadcasting from outer space to YouTube? No, I'm in the western part of the United States of America in a state called California, and I'm about an hour or two south of Los Angeles by car, depending on the traffic, in Orange County and in the city of Santa Ana. And the next thing, oh, and by the way, the other contact details are in the description box, so check that out for all the info. The next thing is, Dr. Chung, is there a way I can talk to you, arrange a meeting with you? And yes, there absolutely is an opportunity for that. I do video consultations with people all over the world, and the feedback and just the progress of people that they've been making has been incredible. Technology is wonderful, isn't it, in 2023? People have been sending me pictures, videos, and any reports so I can help you the best I can to get you a diagnosis, to point you in the right direction, answer your questions. And you just email me at yourfriendlyproctologist@gmail.com so I can send you all the details to let you know there is a fee associated with the service, and all that is explained in the email when you get it. Okay, so let's get to the topic for today. So today's video is focusing a little bit more specifically on the anal fistula surgery, but this can apply to any bottom end surgery, right? And I want to point out some things, some early signs that the recovery may not be going according to plan, because, you know, the normal person who's not gone through the training I have knows what to look for. What are the early signs? A surgeon would definitely know, and you've got to be made aware of these things before it just travels on and becomes too late to do anything about it. All right. So the first thing I should preface all of this is ask your surgeon, and before you have the surgery, hey, Dr. Smith or so-and-so, what do you think about me coming in once a week after the surgery is done? Because I want to see it so often, because I just want my wound checked. Make sure that everything is going according to plan. See what they say, because the normal protocol, the normal method is to make your first appointment about 4 weeks after you've had your surgery. And in 4 weeks, that's a lot of time. And in that time, the wound is trying to heal, right? But I can't tell you how many times I've seen wounds heal incorrectly. And it's not because the person has diabetes or some other medical problem. I'm talking about normal, healthy people getting into problems, having the fistula reoccur, or wound healing issues that need to be fixed. And when I watch them week to week, sometimes some people 3 times a week because it needs it, I'm able to correct things much earlier, watch things heal so they don't have to have another surgery. Because what happens in 4 weeks when you don't catch these things, it looks like the fistula came back. It looks like the surgery failed. Oh, well, we all know that fistula surgeries don't work that good, right? So I guess, we'll have to talk about maybe doing another surgery. And I think that that's not good enough. That's just my own opinion, though, okay? So see if that surgeon will have those issues, because I think in the first 1 to 2 months, that's when I catch the most problems. All right, number one, definitely the first major sign that you can definitely tell is that the pain from your surgery area is increasing. It's getting worse and more painful. You find that you're taking more pain medication and things aren't going downwards with the pain or even staying steady. It just keeps on creeping upwards. That's one of the first signs, definitely, that something is not right, and you need to let your surgeon know. The major things that could be wrong here is that maybe there's a hemorrhoid issue. Maybe there's another infection or an abscess that wasn't treated or wasn't opened up, or something healed quickly and improperly, and that's why you have pain going on. Definitely that needs to be addressed quickly. Number two is that you see a lot of pus drainage. Now, is pus drainage normal? Yes, it is normal. You expect to see that with like clear liquid, yellow liquid, brown liquid, but pus is that thick, milky stuff, probably yellow to light brown shade. It's normal to have a little bit, but if you see more and more pus as the recovery goes on, that is something that needs to be evaluated. Why? Because the pus drainage should be at least stable or getting better and trend downwards. If you see that pus going upwards and more of it on your gauze, that may be because the pocket of pus is coming back, or maybe there's a new one, or it may be normal, who knows, but it definitely deserves a visit to your surgeon to make sure everything's okay. Number 3 is new bumps that you find on your bottom end. We talked about hemorrhoid surgery, that new bumps and bumps kind of creeping up and poofing up is normal, but for fistulas, you got to be a little bit more careful, because if it's another infection or another area of inflammation that you weren't expecting that's outside of the fistula area, that's something that needs to be evaluated by the specialist. You're not going to know exactly what the problem is. Maybe there isn't a problem, but your surgeon should know, because sometimes if the infection is traveling somewhere else, there's a new one forming, or there's one that wasn't detected at the time of surgery, well, that needs to be addressed either way, or needs to make sure that, okay, we need to watch you, and we need to make sure this gets better. Maybe you need antibiotics. Either way, you see that talking to your specialist is important. Number 4 is that you feel hard bumps that just don't seem to get better or go away as the recovery continues. So this common situation occurs when you're maybe 1 to 2 months into your recovery and you start feeling a lot better. The skin is starting to develop scar tissue, and then the scar tissue is starting to get softer and softer. So you're like, oh yeah, I'm doing great. But the thing is that when everything, the background starts to fade, there's one area where you notice, either wiping and you touch it, maybe when you're pooping you feel it as well. There's an area of stiffness, maybe a little bit of tenderness as well, that just doesn't seem to want to follow the same pattern. Everything should be getting soft and the inflammation should start to dissipate as the recovery goes on. But when you start to notice, like, Dr. Smith, so-and-so, there's something that just does not feel right. It feels as though there's something still left in the healing, or maybe there's an infection. I don't know. I feel this strange thing. And do the best you can to describe it. It's not going to be easy, but either way, in my opinion, I would want to know about that, because usually the patient has something going on, and it's not necessarily that an abscess or an infection is there, but there's some problem with the wound healing, and the body will create stiffness and swelling when there is an issue. So definitely let them know. Number 5 is that you come to the end of your recovery and you're thinking, oh my God, everything is just perfect. The wound seems to have healed perfectly. But then what happens? Another hole appears. It just bursts open. Maybe you scratched it. Or maybe you felt another pimple appear and it just burst open again with some pus. The other thing that could happen is that the skin never closed completely, and so you find that there's a small hole on the outside of your skin. You're like, oh no. And these are all things you need to let your surgeon know about. Why? Because you are suspicious that the fistula never healed properly. But does it always have to be that kind of failure? No, not all the time. Sometimes the wound just needs a little bit of a cleanup. Again, the skin closed too early and there might be some pus and some liquid infected that's underneath the skin. And if you clean that up, sometimes it can completely heal appropriately. Either way, you see that you need the help of a surgeon specialist to help you figure that out. So you can see if it's, a fistula reoccurred, maybe, need some counseling on the options for that, or it may just need to be kind of repurposed, cleaned up a little bit so that the wound can heal up finally, and then you're all done. So those are a quick and dirty, great list to have in your pocket when you're doing your recovery. Just kind of ask yourself on that list, okay, question 1, do I have more pain today? Is it getting worse? Do I have some hard bumps that aren't seeming to go away? Do I have any new holes or inflammation? And just make sure that you're doing okay. Quick checklist and make sure your brain is telling you, yeah, I think we're going according to plan. But of course, the biggest thing in my opinion that'd be helpful is just to see your surgeon, right? Have your surgeon just open up your butt cheeks and say, oh yeah, it looks great. Maybe a 5 to 10 minute visit, and just for that would be something really, really reassuring for you. And so if you're having a surgery for your anal fistula, I wish you the best, and I wish you great success. Like bull rat. I wish you success in your surgery, and I hope that your recovery is going the best that it can. Well, I hope to see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.